What's up, Candy fam? My name is Nate. This is Flipping Candy, and as some of you already know, last night at 8 p.m. marked a historic moment for this project, the MLB, and NFTs in general. The Shohei Ohtani 1 of 1, which had been listed for $1 million since opening weekend, was sold for $100,000 last night, marking the most expensive baseball NFT sale to date. So to commemorate this moment, I figured we should take a deeper dive into all of the active listings in terms of 1 of 1s within this project. So yeah, let's talk candy. So first, just taking a look at the 3 1 of 1 sales that we have seen so far. Ohtani obviously is far and away the most expensive one, but Arenado and CJ Abrams had already happened over the last couple weeks with a $15,000 sale and just under an $8,000 sale. Also, just taking a look at Ohtani cementing himself in that number 1 spot on our ceiling. Probably going to spend quite a few days sitting there, so it'll be interesting to see what those other 5 spots do around him as time progresses. But with that sale, we are now sitting just a little under 200,000 for total top 6 sales within the project. Bleacher Report also immediately launched or released a article regarding the Ohtani sale, which is obviously good for this project, exposure, and it's just a catchy headline, isn't it? Shohei Ohtani 1 of 1 NFT sells for record-setting $100,000. Gotta be excited if you are part of this community. So what's left? We've got 8,400 total uncut gem packs and 1,600 all-star packs. I know I've had those numbers crisscrossed and messed up here and there, but what we've got left is 4 uncut diamond legendaries and 17 all-star legendaries that are yet to be pulled. Most notably Trout, Vlad, Tatis, Rushman, and J-Rod, just to name a few, but those are the 5 big ones that people are still paying attention to very closely and very directly tied to the value of these packs. We have seen the pack floors come back up, especially the all-star pack, flirting with the all-time high yet again. The uncut gems still sitting around 600, not quite pushing up to the 750 that we saw at the end of last week. So now taking a look at every single 1 of 1 for sale. I went through all the active listings last night, had to make a couple modifications this morning, and I'm sure there are things happening as I'm recording this with all the hype around that Ohtani sale. But taking a look at these, we had the Alvarez get dropped to 60,000 this morning. That had been sitting there at 600,000 since January 5th. Obviously a handful of kind of ridiculous listings here when compared to the 100,000 Ohtani. Not to say that there's any problem with having it listed at this. These guys might not actually be interested in selling. That's totally fine. But we appreciate that they're out there for us to take a look at. Up until that Alvarez had been dropped to 60,000 this morning, he had been tied with Chris Bryant for the 2 longest standing legendary listings. They had both been listed on January 5th. Bryant still sitting there at 250K from that original listing. Obviously Alvarez dropped this morning. Another lineup of very expensive listings compared to the Ohtani baseline that has been set. I think that once we get down into here, it starts to get a little bit more interesting, because these are probably people that are more interested in actually making a move with these cards. Not to say that these are, reasonable compared to the Ohtani. Again, everything that I'm saying is in comparison to the Ohtani baseline that has been set. So assuming that is the crown jewel for now, these are all still a bit high, but I do think that the Bo Bichette one is intriguing, as he is one of the young up-and-coming stars in the league, and it would be interesting to see what that seller was actually interested in selling it for, if anything. Kind of an unexciting batch here. Obviously, Jason Dominguez has some future upside, but relatively unexciting, pretty expensive for what they are. And now this is the first page where it starts to get a little bit more fun. So we're dropping down below the 50K mark. DeGrom had been listed at 55K as of yesterday, and then was lowered down to 45K overnight at some point last night, this morning. But the real fun one here is Kyle Gibson. And for those of you who've not been keeping track of the Discord, this one was pulled by FD. He's very active in the Discord, lots of good communication, lots of good insight in there. And one of his buddies actually reached out to Kyle Gibson to plead with him to not sell that card. So let's take a look at that.
FD, what's up, man? This is Kyle Gibson from the Phillies. Congratulations on pulling the Kyle Gibson NFT. Do not sell it. Do not sell it, or I personally will come by and not inflict harm, but possibly just buzz a fastball right up here, just to scare you a little bit.
So that's pretty cool. Awesome to see friends within the community busting each other. Obviously, to each their own. If you want to sell it and liquidate one thing and move it into other parts of the project, or pocket it, whatever it is that you want to do. But cool to see this Gibson gang popping up within the Discord community, kind of a secondary run compared to the Kikuchi meme. But this is another fun little piece of the Discord and the community that's happening right now. Moving down into some of the listings that could start to get actual looks of potential buyers, we've got that Matt Olson card. I think is just the most beautiful card out of any of these. It's just really cool with that Kelly green popping on the gold background. Royce Lewis, another uncut diamond, another exciting one there. Continuing to move down, as some of you may know, Chuck Butta is actively trying to move this Trey Turner. He just lowered it a few thousand. I believe it was 25K yesterday, down to 22K now. These are all relatively reasonable when compared to Ohtani. Starting to be some purchases that could potentially happen. Maybe not Marquez, Kikuchi, who knows? A lot of fun around that one. But yeah, if you need Trey Turner, reach out to Chuck Butta in the Discord. Most interesting one here to me was the Adam Frazier. This one's been listed since opening weekend, and I thought it was pretty cool that whoever this seller is, they kind of knew what they had, and they listed it for 15K, and it's been sitting there ever since. A lot of these other listings are clearly sellers that are looking to move their card. So it's interesting to see that this one pretty much knew what it was worth right out of the gate and got it right on the first guess. And then on the floor, we've got Winker, Hendricks, and Gorman all sitting right around 10,000. A couple of these are a little bit older. Winker seems to be getting updated. And then there have also been 4 new listings since I created all the graphics, which takes a little bit longer than you might think, so decided not to go and shift everything around. But these are 4 new ones that have happened since I pulled all the data late last night. Mookie being the most exciting one at 80,000, but obviously Garrett Cole at 50K is a pretty intriguing one as well. We've got a total of just over $5.8 million in one-of-one listings currently, which averages out to $125,000 per card. And the majority of those, as to be expected, are made up of the All-Stars, but we've also got 9 of the uncut diamonds as well. So confirmation from Muntner in the Discord. He stated yesterday that we've got $5.3 million in total sales as of just after the Ohtani sale, spread across 5,000 unique buyers, which is an exciting number. And then we also got an announcement about collections. Collections are definitely going to be receiving a reward. It's 1 reward per set, no more. The deadline to collect those is March 31st, so you need to have the full collection in your possession on March 31st. That's when the snapshot's being taken, and then the actual reward will be delivered on August 1st or right around then, which is slightly following the All-Star game. So it'll be interesting to see what that award is. It has not yet been announced what the actual reward will be, but it was confirmed that you won't have to lock in your collection. So after March 31st, you'll be free to do whatever it is that you want to do with it. And then last but not least, the fees for the Candy Balance transactions has been fixed. Shout out to the devs. Shout out to everybody in the Discord for giving feedback, most of it positive, a little bit negative, but everybody trying real hard behind the scenes to keep this thing moving efficiently. We are in the off season, we are in the middle of a lockout, and we're seeing over $5 million in sales. So shout out to everybody behind the scenes making this thing run, making this thing move. And nice to see that those fees have been fixed, and the refunds will be coming by next week for anybody that did make a transaction while that erroneous fee was still there. And that's it. That is the full recap of all the one-of-one listings that are currently active on candy.com. And I thought it was just really fun to go through and see what has been listed, what has not. Obviously, there's a lot out there that hasn't been pulled. There's a lot out there that hasn't been listed. But we've got a wide range of super, super high listings, and we've also got a good number of people that are trying to liquidate those cards. It's a very interesting subset of this collection because while it is the most valuable, it's also the least liquid. You need a very specific buyer for these cards, somebody that's huge into that player, huge into that team. If you made it this far, I appreciate you being here. Feel free to like and subscribe if you've been getting value out of these videos. And let me know in the comments below, if you had $50,000, which one of these active listings under 50K would you pick up? You can only grab one. What's the sweet spot of value based on what we see listed right now? So thanks for being here, and I'll see you guys in the next one.